If you are watching this video for the first time, make sure you are subscribing to Anantalakshmi Academy. Once you click on the subscribe button, you will see a bell icon. If you click on that bell and click on all, you will get to know whenever I upload a video. This will send you a notification. Hello everybody, welcome back to Anantalakshmi Academy. As told in the last video, today we are going to start one of the easiest chapters of 10th class mathematics, which is statistics. Yes, today we are going to discuss about statistics. Statistics is not a new chapter for 10th class students. This has been already covered. I mean, the introduction of statistics is done in 9th standard itself, wherein you will understand what is central tendency, what is a mean, what is a median, what is a mode, how to derive them and all. So I'm not covering from the introduction part, assuming that you have already successfully finished and understood the concept of ninth math statistics. I'm going ahead. So let's get started. In statistics, when we are dealing with statistics, we deal with data. What are statistics? Statistics are nothing but we try to figure out or find measures such as mean, median and mode, right? Where are we going to find these measures? Upon what we are going to find these measures is nothing but data. What is data? Lots of information or lots of information put together is known as a data. So data is typically, especially when we are dealing with statistics, data is classified into two types. All right, data is classified into two types. One is ungrouped data and the other is grouped data. What is ungrouped data and what is grouped data? Whatever the observations that you have seen, however you have figured out these measures in your 9th standard are done upon ungrouped data. What is ungrouped data? The data will be given to you like this. There are some observations like x1, x2, x3, x4 and all and so on they will be giving. Alright, what do you mean by grouped data? Grouped data is data from a particular point to a point is grouped. Say for suppose I am giving you an interval of 0 to 10. What is grouped here? The data between the values of 0 to 10 is grouped here. Likewise 10 to 20, 20 to 30. What have we done here? We have done grouping. How did we group it? For an interval of 10 values. From 0 to 10, this falls in this interval. From 10 to 20, this falls in interval. The question arises here. Here is, we are saying 0 to 10. Both inclusive, both exclusive, or only one inclusive, or not any one of them inclusive. When we say 0 to 10, the lower boundary is nothing but the left side value is included in this and the upper boundary is excluded in this. Remember, when we are dealing with statistics, always the lower boundary is included. Since this is excluded here, in the next interval we are considering from 10. Lower boundary is considered, right? So here from 10 to 20 values are considered. 20 is excluded till 20. 19.9 till there it is considered. From the value of 20 to 29.9 is given here. This is very important for you guys to understand. What is, when an interval is given, what is included in the interval, what is excluded in the interval, you must know. What is grouped data, what is ungrouped data? Ungrouped data you have already covered in your earlier classes. Now we are going to deal with grouped data. That is the reason I am stressing on this interval part. Interval will have two boundaries. The one to the left side is known as lower boundary. The one to the right side is known as upper boundary. When an interval is given, lower boundary is always included and upper boundary is always excluded, which meant that it is considered as a lower boundary in the next interval. Alright, so that is about types of data, ungrouped and grouped. Using statistics, we are going to measure. What are the measures that we are going to figure out? Mean, median and mode. isn't it? These are the measures that we tried figuring out in our earlier standards, right? How did we figure out mean? Just now I have said you that we are going to deal with group data. This is already has been covered in our earlier standards. Now, how did we figure out mean in the earlier classes? Let's do a quick recap of that. All right. What is mean otherwise called as? Nothing but average, isn't it? So let us consider there are observations from x1, x2, x3 and so on, xn with associated frequencies. Frequency is nothing but the number of times it is going to occur is nothing but f1, f2, f3 and so on, fn, such that x1 is occurring f1 times, x2 is occurring f2 times, all right, such that, so if we are to figure out how many times x did occur, x1 into f1, isn't it? Because x has occurred f1 times and x2 has occurred f2 times. So how did we try figuring out mean in our earlier classes? Mean of the observations x is denoted by x bar is equal to f1 x1 plus f2 x2 plus f3 x3 plus and so on, it went till fn xn by total number of observations, that is nothing but f1 plus f2 plus f3 and so on, it went till fn. All right, now this can be given as sigma. What is sigma? Sigma is nothing but the summation fi xi, where I varies from 1 to n by sigma I is equal to 1 to n fi. Isn't it? Is this how you figured out the formula and figured out the mean in your for ungrouped data in your earlier classes? Isn't it? Now, now this is already has been covered. Today, as I said, we are going to cover the statistics for group data. The first measure that we are going to understand and use to solve the problems is mean. Mean for group data. Mean for group data. In under this section, we are going to learn three methods. First one is direct method. Second one is assumed mean method. And third one is step deviation method. All right, from here onwards, your syllabus starts. From the mean for grouped data, the different kinds of method and all. This and all, I just gave you a quick recap so that you feel that this chapter is a bit familiar for us. As I told you, it is quite easy. You just have to know the additions, subtractions, multiplications and divisions, along with a little space in your memory has to be allocated for the 5 to 6 formulas in this chapter. All right. So under the mean, we are going to learn three methods, which is direct method, assumed mean method and step deviation method. I'll tell you how are we going to do in each method and which method will be used when. All right. So let's get started with the direct method first. All right. Let me give you an example so that you will understand it better. So here I have considered an example of grouped data with class intervals 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50. This is nothing but an example wherein these are the number of students who got the marks between 0 to 10. 2 students got the marks between 0 to 10, 3 got from 10 to 20, 4 got from 20 to 30, 5 got from marks between 30 to 40 and 6 students got marks between 40 to 50. All right. So that is the data which is considered as an example. Now, in order to figure out the mean using direct method, I told you, right, we are going to deal with direct method first. So within direct method, we have a new definition, which is nothing but class mark. Class mark is considered as xi, alright, which is nothing but lower limit or lower boundary plus upper limit by 2. Alright, class mark is also known as the midpoint, which is the summation divided by 2. So let us figure out that class mark. You know the lower boundary and upper boundary, right? 0 plus 10 by 2 is 5. 10 plus 20, 30 by 2 is 15. 20 plus 30, 50 by 2 is 25. 30 plus 40, 70 by 2 is 35. 50 plus 40, 90 by 2 is 45. Alright, within the direct method, once you get the class mark, how are we going to calculate the mean is nothing but using, this is nothing but the frequency, number of students is nothing but frequency. Now this is nothing but xi, class mark, whatever we have just seen. So Fixi is nothing but the multiplication of this. How did we figure out the mean for ungrouped data? Summation of Fixi by summation of Fi, right? That is how we are going to define this. But xi is nothing but the class mark here. Alright? So this is going to be 2 5s are 10, 3 15s are 45, 4 25s are 100, 5 35s are 5 is 25, 5 3s are 15, plus 2 is 175. So 6 5s are 30 and 6 4s are 24 plus 3 is 27. So using the direct mean, we need to direct method mean x bar. What is it? Mean x bar is nothing but sigma Fixi by sigma Fi. Here we are not applying any limits. Fixi is nothing but this Fixi, which is the multiplication of frequency along with the class mark, summation of all these values divided by summation of all the frequency values. Alright, so let's do the addition. I told you, right? You need to be familiar with additions, subtractions, divisions and multiplications. So 5 plus 5 is 10, 7 7 14 15 plus 4 19 plus 1 is 20, 2 2 4 5 6. Alright, 2 plus 2 4 5 and 6. Alright, so the mean is going to be sigma Fixi is nothing but 600 divided by, what is it, 20. 0 0 gets cancelled and the mean by the direct method is nothing but 30. So this is about the direct method, wherein we are going to introduce a new column, which is nothing but the class mark, which is the summation of lower limit plus upper limit divided by 2, which is also known as midpoint. Alright, once you define the class mark, it is nothing but multiplication of frequency along with the class mark. So that becomes Fixi. When you say sigma Fixi, summation of all these, which is 600, divided by summation of all the frequencies, which is 20, is going to be 30. So that is about direct method. Next method that we are going to learn is nothing but assumed mean method. Alright, assumed mean method. Within assumed mean method, what is going to happen is, within the class mark column, whatever the data we have, we will assume one of the data as, preferably the center mark as the mean of the data, which is denoted with the symbol A. Alright, we are going to assume this as the mean. So what happens? Definitely whatever the mean that we are going to calculate is quite or a bit different from this. So what are we going to do is, we are going to calculate a new column, which is nothing but the deviation. di is equal to xi minus a. Alright, we are going to calculate a new column which is deviation. First of all, in assumed mean method, we are going to assume the center, say for suppose 5 values you have under class mark. Within those 5 values, the center one which is 25. I am going to assume this as the mean. Alright, now the question comes up. Madam, what will happen when we have 6 values? What would be the center value? You can take the third one or the fourth one. Alright, third or fourth. Do not calculate the average of third and fourth and consider that as mean. You can take either third or fourth. Since I have taken 5 observations as an example for a simplified example, now this is going to be like the third one I am considering as the assumed mean, which is small a. And since this is going to be deviated from our original mean, I am going to calculate a new column which is deviation. Di is equal to xi minus a. Xi minus a. 5 minus 25 is minus 20. See, you need to be familiar with subtractions as well. Alright. Now, 15 minus 25 is nothing but minus 10. 25 minus 25, 0. 25 minus 35. What is it going to be? Sorry, xi minus a, right? 35 minus 25. Going to be 10. Now, xi minus a, 45 minus 25 is going to be 20. Alright, now what did we say? Assumed mean method, right? We have assumed a mean and now we have calculated the deviation. Now, in order to assume the actual mean, we need to figure out the means of the deviation. Because we have assumed a mean and calculated this particular column, we need to get the mean of this particular deviations so that we will get the actual mean. Alright, so this is going to be di fi. Alright, can you pause this? So this is going to be di fi or fi di. However, we are going to multiply this particular frequency with this column. Alright, so that becomes 2 20s are minus 40. See, multiplications are coming into picture. 3 into minus 10 is minus 30. 4 into 0 is 0. 5 into 10 is 50. And 6 into 20 is 120. Alright? Yes. So what is the summation of this? This is going to be 0. 5 plus 2, 7 plus 3, 10. 14. Oh, hold on. We have plus 170 here. If you consider this as 170, this is going to be minus 70. When we do the summation, 170 minus 70 goes to be 100. Alright, now in order to get the mean from the assumed mean method, what are we going to do? We are going to calculate the deviations mean. Alright, d bar is equal to sigma fi di or di fi by sigma fi. But what is di? Sigma fi into xi minus a by sigma fi. Alright. Now fi is going inside. Sigma fi xi by sigma fi minus sigma fi into a by sigma fi. Alright. Here if you consider this term sigma fi xi by sigma fi is nothing but our mean, which is x bar minus sigma fi gets cancelled and the constant is a. So d bar is equal to x bar minus a. So what happens to the mean if you calculate a plus d bar? Now I have taken a to the other side such that it becomes a plus d bar. So in order to calculate the mean using the assumed mean method, this is going to be sigma fi di by sigma fi. X bar is equal to a plus sigma fi di by sigma fi. Alright, this is for assumed mean method. This is the second method through which we are going to calculate the mean. All right. This is the first method wherein you get to know the class mark and you calculate fi xi and divide it with the sum of the frequencies. Then you get the mean. That is nothing but direct method. What is happening in the assumed mean method? We assumed one value of it, one value of the class mark, the center value of the class mark as the mean, and then we calculated the deviation, and when we figured out the deviations mean, we got to know the value of x bar, which is our mean, nothing but assumed mean plus which is nothing but the assumed mean plus deviations mean. All right, now the question comes up, why are so many methods to define single mean? Did you get this question when I told you that using this method we are going to do this and all? The solution for this, the answer for this is, now since I have taken a simple example like 0 to 10 and all 40 to 50, it is nothing but we are able to calculate these values. At a point in time, even in our exercise problems also, we have few problems where the calculation becomes cumbersome. Alright, it becomes very complicated, like wherein you will have 155 into 125, like these 3 digits, 4 digits you will get. Then they will go for the next method, which is the assumed mean method, wherein since we are going to divide some part of the value from this, it becomes negative and positive values somewhat. Here if you see, these are all multiples of 10. Somehow if you exclude this 0, it is like 2, 1, 1, 2. The calculation becomes simple, right? Then now that we got the mean using the assumed mean method, we have one more method. I told you, right? 3 methods. The other method is step deviation method. Even after considering the deviation, if you feel that the calculation is still complex, then they go for step deviation method. Alright, when are they going to go for step deviation method? When the deviation calculated is also complex, then they go for step deviation method. Let us see how do we do it. Alright, so even before going to the step deviation method, let us see by calculating the mean using the assumed mean method. So let us figure out whether the mean that we have obtained using assumed mean method and the direct method is same or not. So what is the formula that we got from the assumed mean method? Is nothing but x bar is equal to a plus d bar, a plus sigma fi di by sigma fi. I told you, right, you need to remember 5 to 6 formulas. One formula is direct mean methods, second formula is assumed mean methods. A is nothing but 25 plus sigma fi di is 100 by sigma fi is nothing but 20, excuse me, 25 is 100, so this ends up to be 25 plus 5, which is nothing but 30. The value which we got for using the direct method is also the same. So here, as I told you, we are going to deal with the step deviation method. Step deviation method goes even more a bit forward. Here we are going to introduce a new term called u for step deviation method, which is dividing this xi minus a by a common factor h, and later we will be calculating the FIUI. Okay, now I told you, right, even after calculating the deviation, if the calculation is still complex, then what do? They do divide this whole column with the common multiple. As I told you, these are all the multiples of 10, isn't it? These are all the multiples of 10. Now by dividing the whole thing with probably 10, what do I get? I get simpler values like -2, -1, 0, 1 and 2, wherein here h is considered to be 10. H is nothing but either it might be the class interval or a number which is common among all these values. Alright, ui is equal to di by h, which is nothing but xi minus a by h. What is h? Either class interval, or if they have a common multiple, that is considered as the h term. Alright, h will mostly be equal to the class interval part. Okay, now let's get started. FIUI. FI is wherein we have here 2 2s are minus 4. See, the calculation is coming to here it was in 2 digits. Later it was in plus and minus. Now it has come to a single digit, isn't it? See how simple it is becoming. Next frequency 3 into minus 1 is minus 3. 4 into 0 is 0. 5 into 1 is 5. 6 into 2 is 12. 12 plus 5 17. Minus 4 minus 3 is minus 7. So this becomes 17 minus 7 is nothing but 10, isn't it? So let's figure out how do we calculate it using the step deviation method. This is the third method, which is step deviation method. So here in the step deviation method, in assumed mean method, we calculated the mean for deviation. Now here we are going to calculate the mean for u, which is nothing but u bar is equal to sigma fi ui by sigma fi, which is sigma fi into xi minus a by h by sigma fi. Let's take 1 by h outside and send sigma fi inside. Sigma fi xi minus sigma fi into a by sigma fi. Okay, on further simplification, this becomes 1 by h into sigma. I am splitting the fraction, alright. Sigma fi minus sigma fi into a by sigma fi. Here sigma fi gets cancelled. U bar is equal to 1 by h into sigma fi xy by sigma xi is nothing but x bar minus a, isn't it? Is it the mean of observations? Yes. So if I send h, u bar is equal to x bar minus a. X bar is equal to h into u bar plus a. Alright, that is nothing but h into sigma fi ui by sigma fi plus a. This is the third formula which we need to remember. Alright, x bar is equal to h into sigma fi ui by sigma fi plus a, where a is the assumed mean. So if you consider this, from the direct method we got class mark. I have shown this in a single table because you need to understand the relation between three methods. Second method is based upon the first method. Third method is based upon the second method. If you observe here, class mark is main, right? We have considered class mark in the direct method, using which we calculated the deviation in second method, and using the same deviation is nothing but xi minus a, we have calculated ui in the third method. Alright. When you feel that the calculation is becoming complex in direct method for doing fy xi multiplication, if you think that it is becoming complex, then you go for deviation, calculation of the deviation di, which is xi minus a. You need to assume one of the value of xi as the assumed mean and then start subtracting it from the rest of the class marks. Alright, and then once that is done, if you still feel this is complex, the numbers are still complex, then you go for dividing the whole set by a common factor. And if you are using a direct method, you have a different formula. If you are using assumed mean method, you have a different formula. And if you are using the third method, step deviation method, you have this formula. So that is about the introduction and how can we evaluate the values using different methods while calculating mean. So here if you observe, x bar is equal to, let us calculate the same mean using the third method, step deviation. H is nothing but 10 into sigma fi ui is 10 by sigma fi is 20 plus what is a? 25. So this becomes 0 0 gets cancelled, 2 5s are 10, 5 plus 25 is nothing but 30. So throughout this example, whatever the mean, by whatever the method we have calculated, we have got the same value, right? 30 in using the direct method, 30 using the assumed mean method, and 30 using the step deviation method. No matter which method you are going to use, the main answer will be the same. Alright, this is about the formulas and how to solve using an example. I gave you an example. So we are going to start exercise 14.1 with these formulas listed. So since I have already explained using a example, I'm not going to solve all the problems in the exercise. I leave most of them to you. I'm going to solve only 2 to 3 problems which are typical and needs to be understood. Alright, so let's get started with the exercise. So I'm going to solve the third problem in exercise 14.1. Since this is going to require more boxes, I have cut the chapter name and exercises. So this is third problem in exercise 14.1, wherein we have a missing frequency and the mean is given as 18. I have underlined that. So this is about the daily pocket allowance of children in a locality who are having 11 to 13 rupees. Is 7 children are having the mean between 11 to 13 rupees. 13 to 15 we have 6. 15 to 17 we have 9. 17 to 19 we have this. So here the values are quite simple right before 25 itself. So let's try solving them using the direct method. Alright, daily pocket allowance. Pocket allowance. And we have number of children, which is nothing but the frequency. Which is from 11 to 13, 13 to 15, 15 to 17. It is very important for us to get these values copied as is. 17, 19, 19, 21, 21 to 23, and 23 to 25. Alright. And here we will be getting a total column. The daily pocket allowance in rupees and the number of children. What is this? Nothing but FI. Alright. So 11 to 13 we have 7, 6, 9, 13, F, 5 and 4. So we need using by calculating mean using the direct method, we need sigma Fi, right? So let us calculate this. 7 plus 6 is 13. 13 plus 9 is 22 plus 10, 32 plus 3, 35, 40 and 44. This is going to be 44 plus F. Alright. And next we are going to write what? Using the direct mean method, we need to calculate class mark, which is Xi, which is the midpoint of the boundaries. So 11 plus 13 is 24 by 2 is 12. 13 plus 15, which is 28 by 2 is 14. 15 plus 17 is 32, 16. 32 by 2. 17 plus 19 is 6 and 36, 18. Likewise, it is going to be 19 plus 21 by 2, 20. And 21 plus 23 by 2, 4 and 4, 22. And this is going to be 24. Alright. How are we going to do this? Using the formula. It is very important for you guys to understand the concept first. That is the reason, instead of directly giving out the formulas, I just explained everything in detail. All the methods of calculating mean. Alright. Xi is calculated as the midpoint of the boundaries. Next thing we need to calculate is Fi, Xi. What is Fi? Fi is nothing but the frequency. 7 into 12. 12 sevens are 84. Multiplications. 6 14s are 6 4s are 24. 6 1 84. That is also again. 9 16s are 9 6 are 30. Yeah. 9 6 are 54. 9 1s are 9 plus 5. 144. 13 into 18. Okay, 13 into 18 is 3 8s are 24. 3 1s are 3. 5 1 8s are 1 4. 8 plus 5 is 13. Nothing but 234. this is going to be. Okay, you need to have a rough part for statistics, especially when we are doing the calculations like this. All right, next 20f, and this is 5 2s are 10, 5 2s are 10, 110. All right, next 4 4s are 16, 4 2s are 8 and 9. All right, we need to calculate the sum of fi xi. All right, so this is going to be, I'm erasing this now. Now let us do the summation of fi xi. 4, how many 4s we have? 4s. 4 4s are 16 plus 6 is 22. Isn't it? 16 plus 6 is 22. 8 8 16 plus 4 is 20, 23, 25. 25. Yeah, this is going to be 25, 26, 26 and 35. All right, this is going to be 35. 3 4 5 6 7. So this is going to be 752 plus, see, this has to be excluded. You cannot add 20f. This you need to exclude and calculate the sum. All right, 752 plus 20f this is. All right, so what is the formula to calculate the mean using the direct method? Xi is equal to sigma fi xi by sigma fi, which is nothing but 752. The mean is given as 18 is equal to sigma fi xi is 752 plus 20f divided by 44 plus f. All right, this becomes 18 multiplied with 44 plus f is equal to 752 plus 20f. All right, this is going to be 18 into 44 plus 18f is equal to 752 plus 20f. All right, 18 into 44 multiplication we need to do. 18 and 44. 4 8s are 32, 4 1s are 4, 7. 4 8s are 32, 2, 9, 7, 9, 2. This is going to be. So I am getting 752 this side and sending 18f the other side. This becomes 792 minus 752 is equal to 20f minus 18f, which is nothing but 0, 4 is equal to 20 minus 18 is nothing but 2f. F is equal to 40 by 2, which is 20. All right. So far, using the example while deriving the formulas, we have calculated the mean. Now that the mean is given to you as 18, we are supposed to extract the missing frequency, which is f. How did we do it? We used the direct method and substituted the mean value and the summation of the frequencies and the sigma fi xi, and then we got to know the value of f. All right, that's about problem number 3. Let's jump into the next problem. So here I'm ready with the 5th problem. If you look at the frequencies of this, these are quite big numbers like 110, 135, 115. I thought I might give you a different method of solving using this example. Okay, let's read out the problem. In a retail market, fruit vendors selling oranges in the baskets. The baskets are containing varying number of oranges. All right, find the mean number of oranges in basket. Which method would you choose? Okay, what did I tell you while giving the introduction of these methods? If the calculations are becoming complex in one method, we would go for the other, and if they are still complex, we will go for the last method. All right, let us try figuring out the class mark first and see how we are able to achieve the mean of this. All right, which method we might choose. So let's draw the table. Number of oranges, number of baskets, fi. This is the frequency, right? Then what is the main thing we need? Class mark, which is xi. All right, so we have 10 to 14, 15 to 19, 20 to 24, 25 to 29, and 30 to 34. Right? 5 intervals we have. Number of baskets 15. See, while writing the frequencies itself, make sure you are writing the digits ones place in one order, tens place in one order. See, I am writing 15 here. 1, 1, 10, I am giving it as like this. Ones place, tens place, hundreds place. Like that, you make sure you are placing them in the order so that additions, while adding the frequencies, that will be easy for you. Right? The last column will be for total. Anyways, we need to calculate the frequency, right? This is going to be 5, 5, 5, 5, 4, 5 is 20. 2 plus 2, 4, plus 1, 5, plus 3, 8, 9, 10. Okay, the frequency is 400. Now let us do the class mark calculation. Class mark is nothing but the midpoint of the boundaries. 10 plus 14 is 24 by 2, 12. 15 plus 9. 9 plus 5 is 4, 34. This is going to be 17. 20 plus 24 by 2, which is 44 by 2, 22. And 25 plus 29 is 9 plus 5, 4, 54, 27. And this is going to be 64 by 2, which is 32. Now tell me, is it easy for you to do this calculation of 110 into 17, 135 into 22, 115 into 27, 25 into, okay, 32. This requires a lot of calculation, right? So we have other methods also, right? Let me use the assumed mean method. Within assumed mean method, what do? We will hold the central value of the class mark and then do the subtraction. Di is equal to xi minus a. Now here xi is 12 minus a is 22, which is minus 10. And 17 minus 22 minus 5. 22 minus 22 is 0. 27 minus 22 is 5. 32 minus 12 is 10. Alright. Now even 110 into 5, 115 into 5 is also, it is going to result in bigger numbers. So let me try with the last method, step deviation method, which is nothing but ui is equal to xi minus a by h. If you observe, these are all the multiples of 5. The class interval is 4. Here these are the multiples of 5. What did I tell you? H is nothing but either class interval or you can assume any number which is a common multiple of these. Alright. So I am assuming h is equal to 2. Sorry, 5. H is 5. So minus 10 by 5 is minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1 and 2. So using the step deviation method, what are we going to calculate? Sigma fi into ui. So this is in 2s and 1s, right? That is quite easy. 15 2s are minus 30. Isn't it? 110 minus 1 minus 110. 115 into 0 is 0. Sorry, 135 into 0 is 0. Alright. 115 into 1 is 115. Remember to place the digits in right place. 25 2s are 50. So if you calculate the positive numbers sum, this is going to be 165 and this is going to be minus 140. 165 minus 140 is 25. Which 25 plus 25. Alright. Now you know sigma fi and 400 and the assumed mean and h, the common multiple. That is x bar is equal to h into u bar plus a. H is 5 into u bar is sigma fi ui by sigma fi plus a is 22. This is going to be 5 into 25 by 400 plus 22. So this is going to be 25, 8 5 is 40, 8 2 is 16 plus 4, 20. Okay. Let me do with 5 5s, 5 8s, 5 zeros. Okay. 5 1s, 5 1s 5 and 5 6s. So if I am to take LCM, this becomes 5 plus 22 into 16 by 16, isn't it? So this 5 plus 22 into 16 becomes 357 by 16, and this is nothing but 22.31. I am directly writing the decimals here because I have already solved the problems in my book, and hence those decimals are placed here. You have to solve this on your own and figure out if this is the right answer or not. Alright, so this is about exercise 14.1 and introduction of the statistics. We got to know what are the three main methods in which we need to solve the mean, and exercise 14.1, I have solved two different problems. Now I am leaving the rest of the problems to you guys to explore on yourself. If you are not able to get any of the problems, please let me know in the comment section so that I could solve that for you in the later videos. Alright, so if you feel that the content is worth enough and you are able to understand this, please do circulate this in your 10th class students or in your 10th class relatives. So that way they will also get this benefit of learning the 10th class mathematics by sitting at home online. Alright, so this is for free. We are not charging anything. Once you have the internet, nowadays everybody is having the internet because of the online classes. So once you open YouTube and search by the name Ananthalakshmi Academy, you will be able to get all the chapters that I have covered. So if you like this, please do like, share and subscribe to Ananthalakshmi Academy. Thank you for watching.